What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. First off, if you like this content that's coming your way, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. Go like and comment on all the videos, like and comment on, all the podcasts. We're just on Google Play, we're just on Stitcher, Breaker, Apple Podcasts, whatever, YouTube, anywhere. Like, comment, subscribe, 5-star comments, reviews on the podcast, the whole nine. I know it's been a while, folks, but let's get into the sponsors first, man. First off, support for the Ninos Corner podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below the waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped just launched their fourth generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, folks, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code Ninos Corner at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free worldwide shipping using the code Ninos Corner at manscaped.com. Also, folks, my own clothing line, DU, man, don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. Do you. 10% off promo code using the code NCPeeps10 at ninoscornermerch.com. But first off, today, guys, I know it's been a while. We haven't talked in a while. But I wanted to get on here just because the football season's over. I'm a football guy. I love football. And I wanted to talk about the QB battle, 2022 Texas QB battle, and just seeing what is going on right now between Quinn Ewers and Hudson Card. And what have we seen from Quinn Ewers lately, guys? We've seen Quinn Ewers be around the team a lot, a ton. We're seeing him build some of that street cred, like Rob Baber said just a couple weeks ago on his show. He's building street cred. What else is he doing? He is going out and he is going to games with the players. You're seeing him with DeMarvion Overshawn. You're seeing him with Xavier Worthy. You're seeing him with a Jake Majors. They're all at the game, at the women's basketball game, watching the game. He's there embracing himself being a Longhorn. He wants to be a Longhorn. He's always wanted to be a Longhorn, folks. I think we know that. And he's a Longhorn and he is loving it. He's loving life right now, being a Texas Longhorn. But I was talking to a couple of the guys on group chat. I was talking to the Lando show, Lando from the Lando show, Texas Homer, Steven, Texas football talking, Texas Platinum. We got this group chat going on, and I was talking to them, and they showed the video of Quinn rapping the Cue the Fool lyrics, right? And you got like 4 or 5 people in there, and they're all jumping out, like this fool really knows all this stuff, right? So, going back and forth with the guys, a couple guys were like, it's just a rap song. I'm like, nah, he's building that street cred, man. Like, people are really starting to understand that he's more vocal than we thought he was. Maybe Ohio State just wasn't the fit for him, but you can tell he's comfortable. He's comfortable. We all understand he's from South Lake. We get it. South Lake is not cuticle territory. But guess what? He is comfortable in his skin. He's comfortable being around the players. He's going to be a good leader, hopefully, a good leader, hopefully. But I told all the fellows, I said, this is eerie similar to the 2002-2003 season when Texas had this number one recruit in the country by the name of Vince Young. And people forget Texas had another 5-star quarterback on that roster by the name of Chance Mock, who came there 2 years early. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? One guy comes in 2 years early. Another guy comes in 2 years later. One guy's a 5-star. Chance Mock was a 5-star. Offers from all around the country. Hudson Card wasn't a 5-star, but he was a national top 75 player in the country. So a very, very high 4-star. Some sites, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jeff Ketchum from Rival said that he would have had him as a 5-star guy. And these guys are supposed to be transcendent players who are going to be guys who you would think would be able to lead a team. But lo and behold, Texas gets the number one player in the country in the 2002 cycle by the name of Vince Young, VY. And then you fast forward to 20 years later, Texas gets another number one player in the country, perfect rated recruit, a 1.00 rated, the highest score you can get. I think only 3 players have ever gotten that, and that is Vince Young. I think Trevor Lawrence got it as well. I could be wrong about Trevor Lawrence, but I know Vince Young got it, of course, and Quinn Ewers got it as well. Um, but how did these situations, how is this similar? Guys, you got to understand 2002 when Vince got in and got on campus, a lot of people didn't know what to do with Vince. A lot of the fans wanted to make Vince wide receiver because he didn't see the field immediately. But you go talk to those players, they knew. They knew. And why do I say that they knew? First off, I was the RA for the football players. So I had a lot of relationships and conversations with these guys, but they knew Vince was that guy. Um, and just like you saw Quinn bumping Q the fool with all the players in 2002, in that February of 2003, in the spring of that year, Texas had a they had Vince come in. Of course, he was, entering his second semester as a true freshman. But at that time, the music that was bumping at that time was 50 Cent. And I just remember being in the dorm rooms and seeing these kids run up and down, bumping 50 Cent, Wangsta, and in the club and everything, the whole 50 Cent album, the whole Get Rich or Die Trying album. And it was like that was their anthem. And you would see Vince walking by the X Lounge. You would see Vince walking through Jester, and you would hear people just bumping 50, and you see Vince bobbing and stuff. What does that do? It builds some street cred with his guys because they know that Vince is going to be that dude. He is just like them. And if he's not like them, he relates to the same things that they relate to. Chance Mock was a very capable quarterback. I think he started 6 games in 2002 season, went 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very capable quarterback. Got recruited by Tennessee as well, by a bunch of teams in college football. Guys who understand this guy was a 5-star recruit, but you had another 5-star recruit who was one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in college football history in Vince Young to come behind him. And you saw Vince build that street cred. You see Vince playing the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Try album. You see Vince everywhere. Not only was Vince bumping the music, not only was he the culture, not only was Vince the locker room, you know what Vince was? Vince was visible. I'm not saying Chance was invisible. We saw Chance out a lot. Saw him a couple of times out. I won't mention the stories I have that, I've seen some of these guys out and about, but um, Vince represented the culture. Vince was not only representing the culture, Vince was one of those guys who was visible. And when you have a highly titled recruit who is visible, guess what? It makes it easier for you to have a face of the program. And that's what Vince became. He became the face of Texas football. And not just the face of Texas football. Vince became the face of the University of Texas. If there were NIL deals then, you're talking about Vince Young to be a $10 million man, right? But you slowly start to see what Quinn is doing here on campus. We are seeing Quinn listen to the music in the locker room, getting that bond, getting that street cred with his players in the team. We're seeing Quinn out and about at the women's basketball games. You're seeing Quinn driving his car around campus. We're seeing it's like the Where is Waldo, but we're seeing where is Quinn Ewers here on campus. He's everywhere just because he's visible, because he wants to be a Longhorn. He is visible when you're facing your program who in which we think that should be your quarterback, but mind you not, we have great players in this team like a Bijan Robinson, who's definitely a face of the program. Xavier Worthy, face of the program. We got guys like that are no kidding face of the program too. But we all understand the guy who touched the ball the most, and that's that quarterback. When the quarterback is your guy and he's the face of the program, the program just accelerates, does wonders, does great things. Ken Ewers is definitely the face of the program if he gets the starting job, and you see him everywhere. You see that he wants to be a Longhorn. Like I said, you see him at the basketball games. You see him in the locker room doing his thing. He's building the street cred, not only with the players, but with the fans as well. Because guess what? When you are building street cred with the fans and you are attainable and you're reachable, a fan can reach out and see Quinn. They can just say, Quinn, that's Quinn. Hey, man. Quinn, what's up? High five. Doses. What's good? Hey, what's good? What's cracking? When they can see the face of the program and be able to reach that person and that person be attainable, it makes the fan base go even much more wilder for that person. When VY was on campus, man, VY was attainable. VY was one of the guys. If there's a party, you're going to see VY at the parties every now and then. You're going to see him walking through Jester. You're going to see him at the X Lounge walking like walking through any of the upcoming events at school events. He would definitely be there along with the other football players. And when Vince was there, believe me, the other football players followed. They went also. Summertime 7-on-7 drills. I remember driving players up there to the 7-on-7 drills, driving a guy like Robert Timmons up there. I remember seeing guys like Tim Crowder up there. I remember just seeing everybody there. And it's because Vince was the guy who was organizing those events. So let's fast forward to 20 years later. We're seeing Quinn Ewers here going to a basketball game, and you can tell he's there. But guess what? Xavier Worthy's there too. DeMarvion Overshine, one of the defensive leaders from the team, is there too. The center, Jake Majors, is there. Center and the quarterback probably got the closest relationship because the center has to be able to get the ball to the quarterback every play. And also this, Jake Majors is Hudson Card's roommate too, a little awkward as well. But it just shows you that when that guy goes somewhere and that guy steps out, the other players are going to follow. And so that's something that we're going to watch here throughout the offseason, see what happens here during the spring and in the spring game, and just see the reports and see how Quinn is going to be adjusting and how Hudson is also going to be adjusting as well. One thing about Hudson has all the talent. I think we all understand that, can spin the ball very well. Hudson's not the most vocal guy in front of the camera. You don't see Hudson out. And there's nothing wrong with that. You could be one of those guys who doesn't want to love the spotlight and doesn't want the camera, but you need the ball out. And I know maybe we're jumping the gun on this. Maybe we're saying that, hey, we are being too hard on these kids right now. Not so much. This is a competition. These are not kids anymore. This is NIL. There's big money in this involved now. Legally, big money involved in this now. So when you have a guy like a Quinn who wants to be the face of the team, who wants to be out there, like I said, this is eerie similar to the 2002 season when Vince comes in as a true freshman and he unseats a guy like Chance Mock. And Chance Mock, again, was another five-star quarterback. I think Chance was the number 17 ranked player in the country, number 2 or 3 ranked quarterback in the country, number 2 or 3 ranked player in the state of Texas. So you're seeing like Vince just didn't overstep mince meat. Vince overstepped a 5-star guy. But you're seeing, I'm telling you, these situations, to me, being somebody who was there on campus from 01 to 05, for me, this is so similar to have a guy who is one of the best arm talents that you're going to see on a campus in Hudson Card. Same thing with Chance Mock. But to have a guy come in who was just that much better, he's a notch above probably everybody in the country. Vince was a notch above everybody. Still, we got to proof's got to be in the pudding for Quinn. We don't know what Quinn's going to be yet because we haven't seen him play yet. However, what we do know is that Quinn is building street cred just like Vince did in 2002 and 2003. Like I told you guys, Vince was bumping the 50 Cent album when everybody knows at that time 50 was the guy. Anything that came out new, Vince was bumping it. Vince was the guy organizing those 7-on-7 drills. Vince was visible. Everybody knew who Vince Young was. And it's becoming the same thing with Quinn Ewers. Everybody's understanding and knowing who Quinn Ewers is. Some people probably couldn't point out Hudson Card if he walked by walked by him on the street. But we know who Quinn is. He has the mullet, of course. We know he has the mullet. So that's one thing that is going to be visible, which is great marketing by him as well because he's being visible. It's something that distinguishes him from everybody else in the team, and everybody's going to know when they see that mullet coming out, guess what? It's Quinn Ewers. A lot like Vince, not with the mullet because Vince had a mullet, of course, but Vince was visible. Quinn's visible. So much easier to make a guy the face of your team, the face of the school, the quarterback of the best player on the team for football usually becomes the face of the campus and the face of the school. Like 2002 on, Vince Young was that guy. And maybe that's going to be Quinn Ewers here for the 2022 season, 2023 and 2024 as well. Hopefully so, but we shall see. But it was just something interesting that I had to bring up. That I thought this was eerie similar, folks, to the 2002 season when Vince did come in and had to have stiff competition against Chance Mock, ends up winning that competition and becomes not only the face of the Texas football team, but the face of the University of Texas because he's visible and Quinn's being visible. So on that note, guys, man, that's all I want to talk about today, man. It's going to be a great quarterback battle here, and just all honesty, I'm trying to get my way down to the spring game this year. I know it's April 23rd. So, hey, if you guys see me down there, man, come up to me, shake some hands, dap it up, man. Let's chill out, watch the game, talk X's and O's, man. I'm here for it. I am here for it, man. But on that note, guys, I'm going to end this podcast like I end all of them, man. Do you? Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. Ninos Corner. I'm out. Salute. Hook 'em all day long.